Greetings and welcome people of YouTube, it's me Essence of Fort here, just doing a very quick video. And I'm just going to be doing it on a little fuss that's been going on by a guy called Gambleor, who commented on my challenge video. And whilst this video was originally going to be picking apart his video, instead I decided to look at something very quickly. And that is the fact that this is all a charade, it's all a red herring. And I shall show you guys why now. If we can just play the last part of my challenge video, it will set the scene a little bit. No argument can be made for these laws no longer being fulfilled. Jesus himself spoke out against this in Matthew 5:17-20, which reads, "Do not think that I have come to abolish the law or the prophets. I have not come to abolish them, but to fulfill them. For I truly tell you, until heaven and earth disappear, not the smallest letter, not the least stroke of a pen will by any means disappear from the law until everything is accomplished. Therefore, anyone who sets aside one of the least of these commands and teaches others accordingly will be called least in the kingdom of heaven. But whoever practices and teaches these commands will be called great in the kingdom of heaven. For I tell you that unless your righteousness surpasses that of the Pharisees and the teachers of your law, you will certainly not enter the kingdom of heaven." So you see, all 613 laws of the Old Testament must still be relevant to this day as it was taught by Jesus. And remember, a Christian equals follower of Christ. To fail keeping to the laws of the Old Testament is to fail in keeping to the word of Christ. Therefore, you must either agree with these atrocities of the Old Testament, in which you are no more moral than that of the God behind such laws and stories, or you deny the Son, the Father, and the Holy Spirit, and are not by definition Christian on the basis that I have stated there 3 times in this video. Christian equals follower of Christ. So tell me, which are you? So now that we have that sorted, let's get his first comment in response to my video. And his first comment was, "Having read the Bible and knowing the passages you pulled those actions out of, I would still have condemned them in the same light that Christ would have, since, as a Christian, I follow Christ and not a collection of books. An example comes to mind from the Gospels of the woman taken in adultery. She was, by every standard of those 613 laws, to be stoned to death along with the man who took her. But Jesus said, 'Let he who is without sin cast the first stone.' This wasn't much of a challenge." This became a red herring immediately. As you can see, he's avoided Matthews, and if you actually check the second, my response to this comment, you'll see I even mentioned it. If you can bring that up now. Yet in Matthews, Jesus apparently said that you still had to follow the old laws. As for the first sin, cast the stone bit, making reference to John, in 8:1-11, that was not actually in the original text. Forensic analysis has shown the story of the stoning was added 2 centuries after it was originally written, ergo you do not have an excuse and are highly immoral. Now, I possibly wasn't the best with the dating, etc. I can concede that. However, the point still stands, he avoided Matthews at all costs, and the fact that he is quoting a forged part of the text, and now I will go and critique one of his points in the video. He opens up stating, this is after he's gone through all the comments and read them, that's about like first 20 minutes. He opens up with, a forgery is not a forgery, you know, unless we got people claiming to have written it. Well, people did claim to write the Bible, and a forgery is merely copying or editing a text in order to deceive. Now, the fact that they've added a part in, which wasn't originally there, that does class as a forgery. That's just fact. I'm sorry to feel like you're in that. So, you know, that kind of feels odd. And then we went on this whole ramble on about John 8:1-11. Yet again, you've not yet come across and discussed Matthews with me. That
was a key focus at the end of the video, as you can see. That was kind of the ace up my sleeve, and you've used a red herring to avoid it. And then, because I actually managed to pin you in a different situation, you've used a double standard. The double standard was, you allow for a forgery in your gospel, a known forgery. And then, I didn't mention the Gospel of Thomas until you declared that you accepted this forgery. Then I simply stated, well, if you're going to allow a forgery, then I can just bring in the text that never made it into the canon. And, you created this double standard, well, oh no, you can't add that in, but I can add the forgery. It makes no sense. Both should be either allowed or not allowed, because both were not originally in, or were not originally part of, the text. Now you can say, oh, but mine was added before the canon. Well, why not after? What makes that suddenly the cut-off point? I mean, it should have never been accepted into the canon if it had forgery in it. That's an issue. It had forgery no matter which way you look at it, whether they knew about it then or not. So if we found out it did have forgery, it should be removed from the canon. It's just something for you to look at, because either way, it is a double standard. I'm sorry. So, double standard, red herring, please do a little better than that. I'm just trying to keep this one short, as it is just a nuisance. I'm not going to argue with someone who uses a double standard and pleads to use a double standard because they cannot discuss any other way, as there is no point. Thank you all for watching. This is Essence of Thought. Out.